I see dead people. Why does the OC see dead people, guys? I'm going to explain that a little bit later in the video, and I'm going to give you guys a prediction about what all this means and why a certain player that was drafted by the Cowboys will have a great rookie year. I'll give you the details of that coming up. But before we get into all that, hey, don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Follow Boss Cowboy Sports on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And also, please follow me, the OC100, on Twitter. So guys, look, it's been some rumblings out of this rookie minicamp. And so I want to kind of cover some highlights and things I've heard and a little bit of information that I've gathered as well, and kind of get your thoughts and feedback about it. Hey, let me know what you guys have heard, what you guys think in the comments below. And so, hey, I've heard, first of all, that Tyler Smith, the first round draft pick out of Tulsa, he was playing left guard. Whoop-de-doo. If you follow Boss Cowboy Sports, we had predicted, or at least I had, and Boss Cowboy, I believe, backs me on this as well, that, hey, Tyler Smith is probably the starting left guard for the Cowboys. And by all reports, he looked pretty good. He was a guy that was strong at the point of attack based upon what they did and the physical work. Also that, hey, he looks pretty good. He's a big guy, but he looks pretty good, 6'5", 324 pounds. Doesn't look like he's pregnant, looks pretty solid, moves pretty well, and that, hey, he looks good there. Also our pick, another draft pick, a tackle of ours, that he was playing tackle. And so that's a very, very interesting thing, because I thought initially that he would come in, he would definitely win that left guard position. And you see, even in the minicamp, he's having the opportunity to play it already. And also Ridgeway, John Ridgeway, the draft pick, defensive line, one technique out of Arkansas. He was there, and, you know, by all reports, he looked pretty good. Heard about a few little skirmishes with Tyler Smith and John Ridgeway, which is great, man. Those guys are trying to prove themselves. They bring in the smoke. They trying to show that, hey, I belong in this league. And that's the kind of attitude you want to have with these rookie players. And, you know, you want to see guys out there trying to compete. And it's the first time that you're out there. Veterans are not out there. So it's kind of just, hey, you know, an evaluation on how you look in shorts and t-shirts versus, you know, what you'll look like when we actually put the pads on, which is the most important thing. But it is giving a look just to try to see, hey, how these guys look, if they're in shape, if they're not in shape, and how they'll potentially fit in the scheme of the offense and the defense. So that's all really, really good. And so also with John Ridgeway, I heard that there was a little bit of back and forth between him and Tyler Smith. They got into perhaps a little bit of pushing, a little bit of high intensity for this rookie camp. So, hey, that's all good, man. I love it. I love the tenacity on both sides. You know, I've heard a few other reports to say that Ridgeway is a special kind of special, if you know what I mean. Okay, basically, people say he's a little crazy, right? Not like crazy, but like, you know, football kind of crazy, kind of aggressive crazy, you know, mean crazy, you know, that kind of crazy. So I love it, man. We need crazy. And actually, in the middle of that defensive line, we just need a thug. We need a straight up thug. I hope we get a thug. Bring the thugs on. And I hope everybody else that plays on that defensive line is a thug as well. We need thugs, because we need to get off to the quarterback, and we need to, hey, keep the defensive momentum going up on this team and create as much pressures and as much sacks as we possibly humanly can. So that's what I heard about them. Harper, linebacker out of Oklahoma State, heard he moved very, very well. And hey, you know, he was drafted in the 6th round, but people don't really respect, I think, that he's really a solid tackler. I mean, versus Oklahoma and in the Notre Dame game that they played at Oklahoma State, he had 10 tackles. I mean, he's a guy that, you know, moves very, very well. He's lighter than some people like their linebackers, but even if you watch him on film, he moves very, very well. He has a good football IQ. He's a solid player, and I think he adds much needed depth to that defense. So happy to hear that he's doing well, but let me talk about the prediction that I want to make to you guys, and I'll explain why. The prediction that I want to make to you guys, and I'll explain why, is that Sam Williams is going to outdo the production of Randy Gregory. I'm going to even be more detailed. I'm going to say that Sam Williams, barring injury, okay, barring injury, if he plays at least 15 games, he'll have a minimum of 8 to 10 sacks, if not more. He'll have a minimum of 8 to 10 sacks, if not more, if he plays in at least 15 games, Sam Williams. And I'm going to tell you why. I told you a small reason why be based upon what I just shared about Ridgeway, the nose tackle out of Arkansas. So here are some fun facts that I want us to consider. And this is really, really important, okay? And so I'm gonna be ahead of the curve on this. Boss Cowboy Sports is gonna be ahead of the curve on this. And so I'm gonna jump out here and say this. So let's break down what happened with Parsons' rookie year, okay? Micah Parsons had 13 sacks on the year, all right? Micah Parsons is a guy that rushed the passer, roughly 255 times. Some people say it's 230, but based upon the stats I have, it's about 255 rush attempts, all right? 22.7 of those pass rushing attempts resulted in a sack, a QB hit, right, or a pressure. That is the highest percentage in the NFL by far. Number 2, Randy Gregory only had 6 sacks as a high in his career, and he missed 5 games, 4 games with an ankle, 1 game with COVID last season. He had a 16.2 pass rush win rate last year. And he only generated, I'm not gonna say only, but he generated first pressure on 18% of his pass rushes, meaning that he was the guy that initially created the pressure, right? Not the cleanup guy that got the sack, not the guy that, chased the quarterback down after he had already escaped the pocket because somebody else created pressure, but that he actually was the guy that created the first pressure. And so that was ranked 18 out of 191 of eligible players, okay? So here's the deal, guys. We have Osa coming back, who had a really strong rookie year, okay? We also have Ridgeway as a backup to Neville Gallimore, who was playing well. Yes, he had some injuries, but man, Neville Gallimore was playing well. He was playing violent. I think that he's going to be even better this year, much better at the one technique. But we have an insurance policy with Sam Mitchell and also the re-signing of Carlos Watkins in the middle of that defense to give us the depth that we need, okay? And we got Tank Lawrence. Tank Lawrence now, in that run game, he's a problem. And he's still a good pass rusher. When you get on one-on-one, he's still a good pass rusher. He's still a guy that can get you 8 to 12 sacks. And now you got the Lion, Micah Parsons, 13 sacks. And he only rushes the quarterback a quarter of the snaps that he's on the field, something like that, around that number. Okay, now you insert Sam Williams, who, by the way, looked good based upon reports, that he's a long guy, longer than most people thought. He's a guy that has good bursts. Even Mike McCarthy mentioned that he's a guy, man, he came clean on a couple plays. He has 4.4 speed, a good burst. So let me say this. What is going to happen? What are opposing offensive lines going to do when you have Tank Lawrence, Sam Williams, Micah Parsons, all rushing the passer at the same time? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm going to tell you what. I know what you're going to do. You go get rid of that ball as soon as you catch it. It's a catch and throw. I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. You go throw a screen. I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. You go run a draw. I'm going to tell you exactly what you're going to do. You go take a sack. You go take more sacks. That's what's going to happen this year. And because you can't double team all of them, it's going to free up Sam Williams. He is going to get one-on-one matchups, favorable one-on-one matchups. And my prediction, based on his pedigree, based on his physical tools and ability, and based upon the work that will happen with him, with the D-line coach, and with Dan Quinn, he's going to come up big for the Cowboys, and he is going to pressure the quarterback and convert pressures to sacks. Number one, and here are the dead bodies. The dead bodies. The dead bodies are offensive tackles that we will play against, that will lose their mind because it's too much athleticism. It's too much speed. It's too much movement for them to handle. Those are the dead bodies that the OC sees in this upcoming season. Listen, guys, if you like content like this, don't forget to follow Boss Cowboy Sports on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Follow me, the OC100, on Twitter. And until next time, see you.